Good morning, everybody. Straight from my backyard. So I thought that today, since it's going to be a breath and stretch class, that being outside in nature would be really good. Might start raining on me, so fingers crossed that that's not the case. Let me go ahead and just get you all set up right quick. All right. Hopefully you can hear some birds chirping and all that jazz. So this breath and stretch is literally for all ages, okay? It's up to you if you have a chair or you're doing it standing. I'm going to do it with a chair. That way, in case you are watching this later on in the day and you're at your desk and you're like, hey, I actually need to take a few minutes for myself in between like all those conference calls. These are some great stretches that you can do at your desk. Also not during a pandemic, you can do these at your desk if you're having a stressful day at work. So I hope that that you enjoy it and that you get to calm down a little bit and that you breathe, because that's the whole purpose of this, okay? So first and foremost, we're gonna sit up nice and tall on the edge of our chair, okay? Nice flat back. And we're going to just start by getting those feet nice and planted. So I don't know if anybody's familiar with the grounding technique, but there are many beliefs out there that if you actually put your bare feet in the ground, that it's really going to help you just feel grounded and connected with the earth and just kind of feel like, things are bigger than me, right? You know, it's not just my stuff that's going on right now. So when we're here, we're going to inhale those arms up and exhale, coming right down into that heart's chest center. Inhale those arms up and exhale. And hopefully you can hear me. Inhaling and exhaling. So that's really the whole purpose of today's exercise, to really connect to that breath. And exhale. And one more as we inhale those arms up and exhale. Lovely. So from there, we're going to have our arms go by our side. We're going to take one hand to the temple, and we're just slowly going to twist our head to the side. So I'm not yanking on my head, I'm just gently pushing on it, letting gravity do its thing to stretch out my neck and into my shoulder. If you want more resistance, take this hand and grab underneath that seat and really start to arch and pull. Again, if you're doing this standing, it can be like this. Okay? So after there, we slowly go center, arm goes up, next arm up and over. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Oof, as we pull that neck. Taking our nice deep breaths here. Feeling it all the way down the neck and into the shoulder. Again, if you want more resistance, you just grab on the underside of that chair. And then slowly pull that neck come center. That arm goes up and back on down. So next up, we are going to look at our shoulder and we're going to look down at it. So right now, I'm holding onto this chair to create more tension right here in my neck, okay? So I like to hold tension in my neck, as a lot of other people do. I also clench my jaw sometimes, and that is going to show up right in here in your scalenes. It's the muscle that attaches underneath the jaw to your collarbone that assists in mastication, eating. And then slowly we look to the side. We're going to look forward, and then we look to the other side, and then we're going to look down at that shoulder. So again, creating that tension in our body. So my anchor point, my hand is on the chair, and I'm trying to twist my chin all the way over and look down at that shoulder. Still with really great tall posture, belly button to the spine. You're breathing. All right, and slowly we look to the side, and we come forward, and we're going to inhale those arms up, and then we're going to exhale down, and we're going to look directly into our lap. So what that looks like from the side is you have a straight spine, and just your cervical spine is looking down. And we look up, and then look down. Looking neutral, and looking down. Neutral, and down. here we are. So next step, we're going to stretch these hips out a little bit. So still nice and grounded. We're going to cross one ankle over and sit up really nice and tall. So for some of us, this is it. If you have a really tight hip, your knee might be like this. That's a-okay. You're just going to stay here as long as you can, as long as you feel comfortable, and over time, we're gonna work on that knee going down. So when we're here, also focus on this foot. So we don't want our foot to be in like that and our pelvis all over the place. We want that ankle right underneath our knee, nice tall posture. So I'm gonna turn to the side again. Now, if this feels comfortable for you, you're going to take a nice deep inhale and exhale as we start to hinge from the hip forward. So you want a straight line from the top of your head to the bottom of your tailbone. We don't want to be rounded over. Inhale and exhale, maybe pushing it a little bit further on each exhale. I'm adding more weight on this knee as I go down so I can feel that stretch in my piriformis and my glutes. And then we're going to take one more deep breath here. We are now going to inhale and exhale. Now we get to roll over that leg. So now as I'm rounded over, I feel the stretch more in my back. Okay. I still feel it in that hip, but not as much. That's why we do the two versions. And we slowly come up. We're going to recline back in our chair. If you're standing, sorry about that. You'll do a figure four stretch. So you'd be here, breathing, and trying to balance. Sorry about that. I forgot that I'm not only doing just chair exercises. So if you are in your chair, you're going to lean back, grab that thigh to you. If you're doing your figure four stretch, you'd be here, and you're going to bring that leg up, give a nice little squeeze, a little shake out, and then plant it for the other foot to cross over. So if you're seated, we plant, and we get that other foot crossed over. So you notice my angles are different than my right side and my left side. That's because I'm a runner, and my dominant side is my right side, and when I drive, it's my right foot all the time. And being a mobile trainer, up until like this point, I was driving a lot. So there you have it, different sides. So if you notice that you have different sides as well, you want to focus more on stretching this other leg that's a bit tighter in the hip, just kind of more throughout your day. If you're standing at the counter, you know, it's like, my hips feel a little tight, just go ahead and give it a nice little stretch, okay? So from here, deep inhale, and exhale as we hinge forward. So again, I'm adding that pressure. Don't add the pressure if it's painful. If it's painful, boop, you stop right where you're at, and you just breathe. And exhale. What they say in yoga a lot is that if you can't breathe, you're going too deep. Okay, so you have to be able to breathe in the posture. You have to be able to breathe as we are uncomfortable. Pretty poignant for today, right? Good, we're really hinging and leaning forward, and we're breathing. And then we're going to back it up, and we inhale, and exhale, curve that back down. Whoo-wee. So that difference is, remember, if we hinge, straight spine from the head to the tailbone, and then when we inhale and curve over, that's what that looks like. I feel this all up and down my back and my extensors. Erector spinae is what they're called. Feeling this in the hip. And slowly come up. And then if we are seated, we give that knee a nice little hug. And then if we're standing and we were bent over in our figure four stretch, we will then come up and give this nice little bend, shake out that ankle a little bit, and then down we go. All right, coming up next are our hamstrings, okay? So if you are seated, you can turn this side here, we're going to have one foot go forward, the other knee stays bent, and we're going to hinge forward again on that bent leg. Okay, so our hands are resting on this bent leg. We're getting a stretch all the way down this thigh. Now, if you don't feel that, maybe back it up a little bit here. You have to go really to the edge of your seat and then hold on to your chair and really go far over. So depending on how tight or flexible you are will depend on this one. If we're standing, what you're going to do is that you're going to kick that foot forward, bend that back knee. As we hinge that butt back, our tailbone goes back, our head goes forward, and now I feel a huge stretch all the way down that hamstring. That's for breathing and hanging out. Again, if you can't breathe, you're going too deep. And now, seated or standing, we're going to inhale it up. And then exhale, let that back round. And go as low as you can. Keep the front leg straight, back leg bent. And slowly roll it on up. And we're going to go ahead and switch our feet. So, kick that front leg forward. This back leg is going to bend. And we hinge and hang out. So again, a straight line from my head to my tailbone. Hinging forward, not rounding forward, so that butt is out. And then we're going to take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. All the way down. And we hang out here. So as a reminder, if you have kids that are home from school, they can do these things. All right, this can be their little PE stretch yoga session, if you will. Pump some of their favorite jams. There's some nice soothing music. And slowly come on up. And then back on center. So again, don't forget, if you are seated, what that looks like is that you're here and you first hinge forward and then you inhale and then relax it all the way down, okay? So next up, we're going to get our quadriceps stretched out. So this is going to be the same for everybody. If you're seated, there is one that you can do. It's not great, but it does work. So if you're seated, if you can't do the standing quadricep stretch, we go to the side of our chair with our butt cheek attached to the back leg. We let this front leg drop, and I'm holding on to the back of my chair. So right here is what we're trying to get stretched from the hip to the knee, okay? Really push those hips forward. My back toe is popped, so that way I'm kind of pressing my hips forward as I am stretching out that quadricep and that psoas. But if you are able to stand with it, we want to be here at our chair so that way we don't lose our balance. We bring up our back toe and we try to match those knees up, pushing those hips forward again. So what I see a lot in this, which is incorrect, is people will do things like this, which pulls on the knee incorrectly. So you want to make sure that you are in line with yourself. You don't want to cross it over. So this would be correct. A lot of people kind of go like out here in space because their quad is so tight. So maybe get like a belt or a strap of something that you can hold on to get that knee right underneath you. Okay? And you'll slowly release. If we're seated and we were here, we're going to bring that foot up and go to the other side. And then we'll let this leg go back. Really pressing those hips forward. Huge stretch from the psoas down the quadricep. Nice tall posture. Or, if we are standing, we grab the back of that chair, grab our toe, really press those hips forward. Okay, you don't have to hold on if you don't want to, but have something there just in case you start to lose your balance. Okay. So this whole series is also good if you are done working out, because these are called static stretches. So dynamic stretching is what you would do before a workout, and then dynamic stretches are before a workout, sorry, and then static stretches are after a workout. So this is static because we're not moving. Maybe one day I'll do more of a dynamic warm up to get your blood pumping. Next Tuesday, that's what we'll do. All right, and then slowly relax that foot, kind of shake it out a little bit, and then we're gonna go, if we were here, we'll bring that foot up and back on over. So now we're going to focus on that spine a little bit, okay? So spinal mobility is really important, especially as we age. Our spine gets really stiff and it's hard to like look over our shoulder and things like that. So keeping that spine nice and supple from the get-go is really important. And if you are elderly, it's never too late. All right, so fun fact of the day is that as we age, we lose our ability to maintain and hold on to muscle, but we can always add more flexibility to our lives. So that's pretty neat, okay? So we are going to inhale those arms up, exhale, arms down as we twist, and we're gonna hang out here as we inhale, and exhale. Notice how my feet and knees are still pointing forward, so I'm not, twisting my whole body in this chair. It's just from my thoracic spine up. We inhale those arms up, and we go back to the center. And we inhale them up, and we twist those arms down. So I am holding on to the back side of my chair. Don't try to have your arm go over the back. Okay, so it's like this. We inhale it up. Exhale, center. Now we're going to go from side to side. So we inhale it up. Exhale, twist. And then we inhale it up to the center. And exhale, twist. We inhale it up. Exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale. We're going to do 2 more on each side as we inhale it up. Exhale. Inhale it up. And exhale. And then inhale it up. Exhale down. And last time as we go up. And exhale down. And inhale it up. And exhale. Very nice. So we're going to do that again after we do this next little piece, okay? So this next little piece, we're going to get those knees wide. Our hands are going to come to the inside. If you aren't seated, you just kind of be holding a nice low squat, okay? So either seated or not seated, you're going to be here. We're going to inhale, exhale, dip in one shoulder as we then look past the other shoulder. Ooh, and I got a few pops there. That felt good. And then we inhale it up, nice and tall. Exhale, other shoulder dips in as we then twist to look past our other shoulder. So not only is this stretching the spine, it is stretching that pec and that shoulder girdle. So exhale. So if I'm standing, and one more each side. And then nice to the center and up if you're standing, otherwise you are here. Either way, we're going to get those feet right below our pelvis again, and we're going to do those 2 things again. So if you're standing, we inhale those arms up and exhale, twist around ourselves, and we inhale it up, exhale, inhale it up, exhale, inhale it up, exhale. One more each side as you go up, and exhale, and last time up, and exhale, up to the center, and relax. Seated or standing, we go wide. Okay, we're here. Have those hands on the inside of the thigh. We inhale, exhale, dipping that shoulder in, twisting over the back, or you standing. We come up, and exhale. are able to do this outside, I do highly recommend it. It's quite nice. A flock of birds just flew overhead. It's nice. Peaceful. If you can't do this outside, maybe you can have some nice spa music going on in the background. Maybe make everybody in the household do this together, dogs and cats included. And then our last one, as we dip it in. And back. Neutral. Okay? So we're going to bring those legs back underneath our hips here. And now we're going to focus on the wrists and the upper body. So if we are at a desk job normally, we are beep, bop, beep, bop, beep, typing away. We get carpal tunnel. We get like slumped posture, all that. Not great. So if our posture is slumped, we have to work on getting right back, right? So think about those shoulder blades being down and back, pushing that chest up, belly button to the spine, okay? But we don't want to hyperextend. Nice and neutral, okay? So when we are nice and neutral, we are going to have our right arm come up and we're going to say stop. So for some of us, having this wrist flexion is enough, all right? So it might not even be this much, and that's okay. But to take it a little bit deeper, we're going to keep this elbow straight as we then pull on the top fingertips for a bit of a stretch all throughout that forearm. Okay, so you're here. So we first say stop, and we pull those fingers back. And then we flip our hand, boop, and show off any bling that we might have. And then we're going to gently pull back that wrist. So as you're pulling back the wrist, notice I'm pulling it from my hand and not from my fingertips. So I'm pressing down right there. Okay, and then after that, we then flip our hand over, just like so, and then we're going to pull back right there. Again, feeling a huge stretch in our flexors and extensors in our forearm. Try to keep that shoulder down. We don't want to hike it up, or we don't want to bend the elbows. Keep it out nice and straight. And then slowly release that. Kind of give it a little shake out. And then we have our other hand. So first we say stop, and we're going to pull those fingers back. Okay. Still want to think about your good posture. Make sure the elbow's not bent, that the elbow's straight. Pulling those fingers back. And then we're going to slowly bloop, show off our bling, and then pull. Ooh, this wrist is tight. Pull back. One thing I do love about stretching like this is that you do notice body parts that are tighter than what you thought that they were going to be. Like, I had no idea my left wrist was tight, but it makes sense because my right arm's been hurt, so I've been using my left arm more. Everything's connected. We're all connected. Cue circle of life music. And then relax. And then you're going to flip that hand over, and then you pull those fingertips back. Remember not to hike that shoulder up, so get that shoulder low. Good, good, good. And slowly we release that. Shake it out, and we're going to do just that. So we're going to have either your hands here, or if you can do it with your shoulders, nice whole posture, we're going to reach out, and we're going to take big circles. All that hand, try to almost act like you're going through like a silky fog, and you want to feel every inch of that silk with those fingertips as we rotate that hand and wrist. Going out first. One more, and then come to the top, and then we're going to go inside. This looks a little silly. It feels a little silly, but it feels really good. So make sure you're doing it with the finger manipulation to get everything all stretched out. Good. Give me 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. Okay. Shake that out on your shoulders. We're going to inhale those arms up again. We're going to pat our back with one hand, and we're going to grab the elbow with the other. So first, going to be up just nice and tall here. This is what it looks like to the side. Okay, so I'm patting my back. You might not be able to touch your back, and that's okay. But from here, we're going to tilt to the side and then look up. If you're standing, same thing. Tilt to the side and look up. So you should feel it all the way down here on our side, into that shoulder. Our neighbor's dog is saying good morning. And both arms reach up, and then we bring them down to then raise our other hand, pat our back, grab that elbow. So first we start there, just nice and tall, trying to pat our back. If you can't pat your back, that's fine. I don't want this sort of thing, so only do, what you can do. Make sure you're breathing into the nose and out. Into the nose and out. And then we tip to the side and look underneath that arm. And you'll slowly come back neutral. Both arms go up to the sky. And exhale. Down. You notice my hands, we're going to have those little jazz hands going up to the sky, and then we're going to exhale, coming down like this, and then back. Okay, so inhaling it up, exhale, elbows to the side, and down. Inhale those hands up, jazz hands, jazz hands. Good. And inhale those arms up. Exhale. Two more. Inhale it up. To the side. Last one. Inhaling it up. Exhale. Shaking it on now. Good. Our next one, you're going to be here with our hands on our thighs, or if you're standing, just like so, and we're going to reach up and reach back as far as we can, and then come centered, and then the other way. And notice your thumb is pointing towards your thigh. Good, good, good. Press, and notice that I'm doing this with a neutral spine, so I'm not, pressing so far back that I have to bend forward. One up. So this is a great example of a dynamic stretch. So how about that? Because we are moving this. Back. Good, and we're going to do one more each way. Inhale, and exhale. And then one more. And exhale. And then we come neutral. All right. So almost done with this stretching today. But we're going to still focus on the upper body because, again, this is envisioned for if you are at your desk. So if you are at your desk chair, we're going to grab underneath those thighs as we inhale. Chest up. We're going to exhale. Curve into a small ball. Inhale. Use those thighs to climb back. And then exhale. Use them to also pull yourself down. Inhale. Curl that spine. Exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale. And one more. Inhale it up. Exhale. Going down, 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 down. If you are standing, what that looks like is you here, you support that low back. As you move forward, push the hips up. And then as you curl, the head goes to the chest and curls down. Okay, so either one, it is up to you. What feels right for you and your body. And then last one. Protecting that low back. And then exhale, chin to the chest and down. Coming neutral. We're going to go ahead and inhale those arms up to the sky. And exhale, looking down again. Inhale it up to the sky. And exhale. And your last one, you inhale it up. And we're going to gather all of those good vibrations and positivity, and we're going to collectively bring them in and support ourselves with them. Okay, so I hope that you all have a really good day, that you give this stretch a try. If nothing else, it really does help to just kind of connect you back with your breath and with your body. Let the stress of everything else go, and if you can do it outside, great. And if you can't, try to make a really nice, relaxing indoor space for yourself, okay? Because we all need that retreat. So until tomorrow, my friends, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you then.